I'm Troy Charles, and here are your top stories. 8 new cases of COVID-19 were announced today by the Thunder Bay District Health Unit, bringing the total number of active cases in the district to 117. 6 of the new cases were in the Thunder Bay and surrounding areas, while the other 2 cases announced were in unspecified district communities. Hospitalizations have dropped from 5 patients on Friday to 3 Saturday, with 1 in ICU. However, today the hospital did declare that there is currently an outbreak of COVID-19 on the hospital's 1A oncology unit. It's unclear how many cases are involved, but an outbreak in a hospital is declared when there are 2 or more confirmed cases within a specified area and within a 14-day period where both cases acquired their infection in the hospital. Contact tracing is underway, and anyone who is considered to be a risk will be notified. As a precautionary measure, there will be no admissions to the 1A oncology unit until further notice. Essential care partners will be limited to patients at end of life only while the investigation is ongoing. Finally, some positive news. The Southbridge Roseview Long-Term Care Home, the site of a large COVID-19 outbreak, had no new cases to announce today. Also, 4 staff members have recovered from the virus. There are now 45 active cases among residents and 22 among staff. 3 residents have died as a result of an outbreak. Moving on now, the long-standing fight for clean drinking water in Northern First Nations was brought up at Queen's Park this week. Quetnu MPP and Indigenous Relations critic Sol Mamakwa was calling on action from the Premier if they want to further reconciliation. The NDP member pointed to the month and a half that members of Niskandiga First Nation have been away from their homes, waiting for their water treatment facility to be fixed. The community has been under a boil water advisory for 25 years, and the latest setback has only heightened frustrations. Despite drinking water being a federal issue, Mamakwa says more support from the province would go a long way towards creating trust with these First Nation communities.
If Ontario wants to develop the North, and if you want our nations to work with you, honor Treaty Number 9. Bring the people clean water. Why is Ontario continuing to ignore the crisis?
We will continue to press the federal government to ensure that they meet that commitment, and of course we'll continue to work cooperatively with our First Nations partners. The member is absolutely correct. This is something that we all need to work very, very hard on, and he certainly has my word and the word of this government that we will continue to press the federal government to meet their commitments.
Mamakwa asks that the province stop its game of jurisdictional ping pong and assist in solving the problem. Schoolyards at several schools in the Rainy River District are about to become construction sites for the next couple of years as several projects begin to take shape. One of the biggest was announced this week in Rainy River, and Corey Nordstrom has the details.
Kenora Rainy River MPP Greg Rickford was in Rainy River this week as part of an announcement that will see the province providing $10 million towards the construction of a new school in Rainy River. The build will consolidate both the primary and secondary students into one building. At the same time, the facility will also provide preschool and daycare spaces. Director of Education Heather Campbell says it's been a long road to get to this announcement.
We initially applied for a renovation to house a kindergarten to grade 12 consolidated school in the old Rainy River High School. Unfortunately, that exceeded the budget, that project, so we went back to the Ministry of Education and are so very grateful for the funding to now create or construct a K-12 brand new facility.
A release from the province states that project will be completed by no later than the 2023-2024 school year. But that's not the only project underway. In early 2018, the province announced it would be combining North Star Community School with Atikokan High School to create a K-12 facility. Campbell says a contractor has already been selected and preparations are underway.
We presently have some portables on place, and we are moving students and staff shortly to begin that construction project. It will take approximately 2 years because we have to phase it. We are keeping the Grayson Hall as well as our resource center and technological education shops.
And at Donald Young School in Emo, construction of a new daycare is well underway that, when complete, will create 49 new childcare spaces and is price tagged at just under $3 million. A growing theme is the integration of daycare through to high school into education facilities in smaller communities, something Campbell says has been well received by both parents and students.
It's really a seamless way for students to get familiarized with the school setting at a very early age. So when they enter JK or SK, they feel very familiarized with the school setting, they recognize school staff, and they see their siblings.
Completion of that project is expected to take place by mid-2021. Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
The United Commercial Travelers of Thunder Bay Local 1039 presented a total of $10,000 today to support 4 local organizations who have been hit hard by the pandemic. Precious Bundles and the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center each received a check for $2,000, while the Dewdrop Inn and Thunder Bay Boys and Girls Club received donations of $3,000. The over 100-year-old nonprofit organization has 92 members locally and has done takeout dinners at the Moose Hall to raise money for the charities this year. President Kathy Naval understands how significant today's donations are.
Really important, and that's why we wanted to do this before Christmas, because we know everyone's hurting. All the clubs are hurting, and because it's hard to not find ways to raise the money.
The UCT's next takeout event will be on February 21st with a rib takeout dinner at the Moose Hall. With last year's ski season coming to an early end due to the pandemic, skiers and boarders were lined up to get back on the slopes at Loch Lomond Ski Area. The opening comes with plenty of COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Avery McRae has the details.
Skiers and boarders lined up in groves at Loch Lomond Ski Area today, eager to make up for lost time on the slopes. The lower Sun Bowl and Snoopy are currently the only 2 runs open, but the limited hills didn't bother local skiers as they were just excited to be back on the hill.
Very excited. Oh yeah, for sure. It's something to do now since the pandemic.
People have appreciated the amount of organization that we've put into making sure that everyone is being as safe as we can keep them. There are some wait times associated to picking up season passes right now, but that's expected at the beginning of any season, never mind a COVID one.
The ski hill has had to adjust their operations due to the pandemic, including limiting the amount of customers inside the chalet at one time. Those looking to rent equipment must book a time in advance. Other than rentals, all other operations, including single-day ticket sales, can be accessed from outside of the building. With the province moving to orange in the province's COVID-19 framework on Monday, skiers can expect a different look moving forward.
We are moving to orange on Monday, so how we're operating today will be different than how we will be operating next weekend. The major difference that our guests will see are as they enter the chalet, it will be a more thorough contact tracing going on with advanced screening.
The ski hill is currently open Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 5, with only the mountain's south face open. The ski area's larger north face side is still closed for customers, but once it opens in the coming weeks, skiers plan to make Loch Lomond a home away from home.
Yes, very much.
Probably every day.
Yeah.
Usually the north opens as we're opening for Christmas break, so the week before Christmas break starts is usually the beginning of our regular hours, and we start our regular hours as soon as we have the north chairlift running.
Avery McRae, TBT News.
While the annual Parade of Lights was canceled this year due to COVID-19, Parade of Lights charities in partnership with the Waterfront District BIA are decorating storefront windows in downtown Port Arthur for the heart of the holidays. Merry Christmas! These can stroll through downtown Port Arthur throughout December from 5 p.m. to midnight by foot or in their vehicle to enjoy the lights and holiday scenes businesses have created. Charities and businesses, including Lowry's, the George Jeffrey Children's Foundation, and Special Olympics Thunder Bay, among others, have teamed up with the downtown businesses to help decorate their storefronts. Julia Parody with LH North teamed up with the Loop on Court Street to create a Gremlins-themed display. She knows after how difficult this year has been, it's important to still bring the spirit.
The pandemic, for all the children in Thunder Bay, all these things are being canceled, all the parades and things like that. And so I think it's a special thing to do and to bring in the season and have something that the kids can come and laugh at and look at.
The Thunder Bay Rotary Club are hosting the Deck Your Biz window decoration contest for businesses to add to the holiday fun. The winning business will win $1,000 for the charity of their choice. Voting can be done online with the contest running until December 18th. And our good friend Mike Mohorevich. Mike, speaking of lights lighting up, the North Stars were putting the puck in the net last night.
Yeah, they really took it to Cam River last night. And also there's some news from the league earlier this afternoon about scheduling and teams, and it's complicated, but we got the details after the break.